Do you consider yourself to be a Brahmin, somebody who Shiv Baba has created through Brahma Baba's mouth? So, do you always maintain that consciousness that I have died from my last birth, and this new birth, I have a new identity. I'm a Brahma Kumar or Kumari, and Shiv Baba, the Supreme Father himself, has given me birth through Brahma Baba's mouth. So, do you keep this in your awareness that I am a Brahma Kumar or Brahma Kumari? So, Baba says, always remember this new birth. Now you see, when you're born, you are a child. And so I think the whole, if you summarize the whole knowledge, it's all about becoming a child. And in one Murli, Baba once said, जो बच्चे बनेंगे वो बच जाएंगे. So the ones who become children will be saved. Now there is something very beautiful about children. You see, when a child is so when I'm a child, my yoga is constantly with my parent. Have you seen children? Even if little children, they have their favorite toys and they're fully engaged in playing with the toy. It looks like that child is completely engrossed in that game. But when the mother will get up and start to leave, the child will leave that toy and run after her. Then the child has no business with that toy, and even if you give him 10 more toys, he won't leave his mother, and he would just run after his mother. And that's the yoga that a child has with the parent. And this is the quality that we need to have. This constant yoga with my parent. And when I start to think about myself as this newly born child of Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba, so Brahma the mother and Shiv Baba the father, and then I understand that this is my new birth and this is my parent, and then he's also the teacher and the Satguru. So then I have constant yoga with Baba. And I remember in yesterday's Murli, Baba was talking about the unique and very special sustenance that we children are getting in this Sangam Yuga. And this is the kind of sustenance that even in Satyug we won't be getting. So, do you know that in the Sakar Baba days, so when the Yagya was, Sakar Brahma Baba was there, so Gulzar Dadi always narrates this, that even the toothbrush that they were given was, the toothpaste was already applied on the toothbrush and given to them. And then when children used to sleep, then Brahma Baba used to make a round. He would go on a round, and then he would check the feet of children, whether they had washed their feet or not. And if they had not washed the feet, then Brahma Baba would ask those children, these are the Thakur's feet. So, the feet of deities. And people wash these feet and drink that water. So if you sleep like this, and somebody washes your feet and drinks the water, that's not a good idea. So Brahma Baba gave, so you see Shibaba's yagya, so this is the kind of sustenance that in Sakar days we had. And even today, if you look at it, there is always this sustenance where we are getting whatever we need from the yagya. So Brahma Baba in the Sakar days, of course, there was a lot of sustenance, but then even today, if you look at it, we are getting a lot of sustenance from Baba, yes. And I will tell you, yesterday there was one sister who had come and she asked me that I have had very bad experiences in the past. She told me that. And she said, I don't trust anybody because of that. But how can you not trust your experience? So if something is my experience, then definitely I will go by that experience. So how do I do away with that experience, that bitter experience of my past? So I told her that, you see, in the world, so Dadi Janki used to tell us about trust, that the quality of trust, you must uphold your quality of trust, and 95% of the times your trust will materialize. So there is a 95% rule for trust. So in 95% of the cases, the one you trust will turn out to be trustworthy. And then 5%, it won't work out like that. But then for that 5%, do not do away with your quality of trust. Yes, because if you start mistrusting people 100%, your life is going to have a very hellish experience. Yes, every person you meet, you mistrust that person. It's going to be very difficult for you. So I told that sister that, you see, when there is a situation where your trust has been betrayed, then you have to come to terms with that situation and make conscious attempt to not let go of that quality of trust that you have. Okay, now I gave her an example and I will share it with you. So there is a bhandari in the center, so there's a small donation box, and it used to be there on the wall. And then some 3-4 years back, when I took out that box to check if there was something that had come for Baba's yagya, I found that box was broken. Okay, and then when I saw that, then of course everybody came to know, and then everybody had different opinions about it. But then we had another bhandari, and then somebody told me, Didi, why don't you put a CCTV camera here? So I said, and then do what? Always keep thinking somebody is coming and doing this and that, and so this is what I have done, made this life about. So I will be reduced to a security guard now. Yes, so I told that person who suggested this, I told him that, you see, it's been 8 years, and 8 years nothing happened. So 8 years of seva, and I have not lost a safety pin. And now if something has happened, it should not take away my experience of 8 years that Baba's yagya is under protection, and I have to just overcome this one incident and have the same trust and faith again. Because if I lose my quality of trust here, then it's going to be very difficult for me in the future, because you see, this whole yajna is based on trust. If I cannot trust, if I cannot trust people around me, then how will the work get done? And then I had to consciously delete that incident from my mind, and I made that effort, and I just restored that normal, that trustworthy atmosphere again. And there was one person particularly who I had many reasons to mistrust. So he was working at that time, and then he was a worker who had come for cleaning and all. So and he left the other day, so he'd stopped coming also. But then I called him and I talked to him, and because I had no way to figure out, so why should I keep that in my heart, that this is the person? I asked that person, he denied, and then I rested with that thing, because I do not want to lose my peace over one incident. And Baba gives us these, these directions for every situation. So do you understand Baba's Palna? So yesterday's blessing was about realizing how much Palna, how much sustenance we are receiving from Baba. And if you look at the sustenance, for every single action, even for remembrance, Baba gives directions. So people don't even consider remembrance to be an action, whereas you remember all the time. But Baba gives us direction even for remembrance. Baba gives us direction for drishti, what should you see when you are talking to somebody? Where should your drishti focus? Baba gives us directions about thoughts. And I remember that once when Dadi Janki was asked, what is your purusharth? So what is the biggest effort that you make? So Janki Dadi said that I keep my feelings clean. So that's the most profound and the simplest effort that one can make, keeping your feelings clean. So your feelings always get stained by some behavior, some incident, some happening, and then you have to clean those feelings by using the soap and brush of knowledge and yoga. And that is the effort that we have to take for our feelings. So Baba talks about feelings, about thoughts, about drishti, about attitude. Baba says, have the attitude to look at somebody's speciality. So you just pre-plan to look at somebody's speciality. So Baba has given us the palna, the sustenance for every particular action. And it's just like, when there is a little child, you teach him everything. And the child is such a good learner and egoless that he learns everything. You teach the child how to hold the brush also, You teach the child how to look, how to sit, how to eat. You teach the child everything. Similarly, Baba says, I'm also teaching you everything. And I have given birth to you, this new birth through Brahma Baba's mouth. But the only challenge that we have to fulfill is, remember that I am this newborn child, and take direction in everything.